Are you wondering if Waxahachie is a great place to live? In this video, I'm going to share what you need to know about living in Waxahachie, Texas. I'm Keela McGraw, a realtor in the DFW area, and if you are thinking about relocating to the area, Waxahachie, Texas may be a place you want to consider. Waxahachie is actually growing in popularity, and in this video, I'm going to share a lot of things of why that is happening. So let's start with Waxahachie's population. It has a population of about 45,000 people, which is not that large. Surprisingly, if you do ever get to visit downtown Waxahachie, it is beautiful, but the population itself is, I would consider, a mid-sized suburb. Many people may not know this, but Waxahachie is the 13th fastest growing city in Texas. So when I say it's growing in popularity, there's the data to support that. So if you live in Texas, one of the popular trees that you'll see in the area is a crepe myrtle. And Waxahachie is actually considered the crepe myrtle capital of Texas. So it's great to see these trees in full bloom, especially in the spring and summer. You get to see the beautiful blooms. They come in a variety of colors. So if you ever get the chance to visit Waxahachie, go in the springtime where you get to see these beautiful crepe myrtle trees lining streets in different neighborhoods and yards, and it's just beautiful. Just go check it out if you get a chance. So living in Waxahachie does afford residents kind of like that suburban feel, but it's still got that small town vibe to it. It's actually an exurb, which is actually a suburb of a suburb. It doesn't touch the city of Dallas as far as its borders. There are a couple of cities in between Dallas and Waxahachie. So it really does, give you a good chance to have a nice drive if you have to commute from downtown Dallas to Waxahachie. A lot of people enjoy commuting, and that one is one that's pretty easy, just going up 35. So let's talk a little bit about the location of Waxahachie. Waxahachie is located just a bit south of Dallas. It's about a 30-minute commute to downtown Dallas. And if you're working in Fort Worth, Texas, it's about a 45-minute drive to downtown Fort Worth. Now, Waxahachie, although it is kind of like out there as far as an exurb, it does have some major highways that makes it easy to get to the city of Fort Worth or Dallas or other cities in the area. You have Interstate 35, which runs straight through Waxahachie, and you also have Highway 287 that can easily get you to Midlothian, Mansfield, and Fort Worth. And if you're a big traveler and you need to get to DFW Airport, Waxahachie is about 55 minutes to DFW International Airport. So Waxahachie is located in Ellis County, which is actually one of the fastest growing counties in the state. And in Waxahachie, you will find the Ellis County Courthouse. So I mentioned that Waxahachie is kind of further out than some of the other suburbs of Dallas and Fort Worth. And with that, anywhere you move, you want to figure out what is there to do in that city. And since you are a little bit further out, Waxahachie does not disappoint. There is plenty to do in Waxahachie. Some of the things include Crossroads of Texas Film and Music Festival that goes on in April. There's a gingerbread trail that happens in June. And of course, we can't forget about the Crepe Myrtle Festival that goes on in July. In December, during that big holiday month, there's plenty to do as well. You have things like the Parade of Lights. There's a Christmas tour of homes that goes on in Waxahachie where you get to tour different homes that are beautifully decorated, historical-like homes. And Bethlehem Revisited is a beautiful reenactment of Jesus's birth. So plenty to do in Waxahachie when it comes to the holiday season, especially in that month of December. And of course, wherever you live, you have to consider the food and restaurants that are involved. And Waxahachie has plenty to choose from. You have some more local restaurants that are just only located in Waxahachie, but you also have your chain restaurants and things like that. One of the cool things I love about Waxahachie is when it comes to shopping, grocery shopping, they have an H-E-B in Waxahachie. And H-E-B has been one of those grocery stores that's very popular in the southern part of Texas, but it's now growing in popularity here in the North Texas area. And Waxahachie has had an H-E-B for a while, so me and my family would travel down to Waxahachie every once in a while to visit their H-E-B. And of course, we can't forget about the major players here in the North Texas area in its reference to Waxahachie. Dallas Cowboys Cowboys, going to Six Flags, and all of those things. So you're looking at about a 30 to 40 minute commute to go to those main activities or entertainment that you would normally enjoy on a weekend or weeknight and things like that. So one of the questions I get from people relocating to the area is, what is the cost of living? And the cost of living in Waxahachie is only 2% higher than the national average, which is not bad at all. So although Waxahachie's cost of living is 2% higher than the national average, its housing cost is actually 8% lower than the national average. As of October 2022, the median price of a home in Waxahachie is $349,000. Now, just to give you perspective, DFW's median home price is $395,000. So you can see that difference of a lower housing cost in Waxahachie, which is very welcoming for people trying to get into this DFW housing market. So for $350,000 in Waxahachie, you'll get a house with about 1,500 to 2,500 square feet. It's a 3 to 4 bedroom, 2-bath home. And the year the homes were built will probably be around 2000 to 2020. Now, one thing that I found interesting was that Waxahachie really is allowing a lot more builders to build in their city. In fact, according to the city manager, Michael Scott, Waxahachie issued more than 1,000 building permits last year. That's pretty phenomenal when you think about a city with a population of 49,000 people. So they are planning for their growth, which is also welcoming when it comes to the different infrastructure and things that have to be thought about when you have a lot of people moving to the area. So people relocating to the area also ask me quite a bit about crime. And when it comes to crime in Waxahachie, according to crimegrade.org, Waxahachie has a rating of a B+ for safety. So of course, you need to do your research when it comes to crime. There are plenty of resources out there that you can Google or look up. Do your due diligence, but just know Waxahachie is really no different from any other city in the North Texas area. You'll have your good areas, the not so good areas, and just do your due diligence. One thing that is important to really anyone looking for a home, whether you have kids or not, are the schools. How are the schools rated? Waxahachie Independent School District has an overall rating of a B. And honestly, being a former educator, not just a teacher, but also a principal, I call myself a recovering administrator. A B rating is not bad at all. That means overall, with all of the schools being accounted for, high school all the way to elementary, on average, those schools are performing at a B. Now, Waxahachie has over 10,000 students in 18 different schools. And if you want to know the breakdown of those schools, they have 10 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 4 high schools. So as I stated before, the population in Waxahachie is increasing. So as that population increases, they may be adding more schools to accommodate students. Also, there are other schools of choice, such as charter schools, that could be an option. So just do your due diligence, look up the school districts. I always tell my clients to see where the homes are that you're considering, but also see where those schools are in relation to those homes. Like if you stay in a certain neighborhood, which elementary school will your child go to, which middle school and which high school? And then from there, you can look up those campuses' specific ratings to get a better idea of how that school is truly performing and to see if that's a good fit for your child and your family. Other considerations that you may want to think about when it comes to living in Waxahachie is, of course, the weather. Living in this North Texas environment, we have very warm, very hot summers actually, and we also have freezing temperatures. So keep that in mind as you make that decision to move to the area. The other thing is, because Waxahachie is further out, there aren't a lot of huge employment opportunities. So you do have some companies such as Baylor Scott and White Medical Center. You have the Waxahachie Independent School District, which is one of the bigger employers there, and also Walgreens Distribution Center. So because there aren't a lot of the big employers in Waxahachie, you might have to commute outside of Waxahachie to a job or a place of employment. So yeah, keep all of those things in mind as you consider relocating to Waxahachie, Texas. So speaking of commutes, when it comes to commuting from Waxahachie to Dallas, that commute can become more congested the closer you get to Dallas's downtown area. They have done construction on Interstate 35. It seems like they're always doing construction on Interstate 35. And honestly, they're just trying to make it better and make it easier for commuters to get back and forth from place to place. So keep that in mind. If you're traveling, if you're having to travel to work in those high traffic times, we're talking about like 7 to 9 a.m. in the morning, or in the evening between like 4 to 6, you're probably going to be caught in traffic. So just keep that in mind as you consider Waxahachie. So have any questions about Waxahachie or moving to the area? Call, text, or email, and we'll see you in the next video.